In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a t-shirt design made entirely of dots, like this t-shirt right here. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juno with Detour Shirts. My channel's all about helping you design and sell t-shirts online. If that's something you want to learn how to do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there. So in this video, I wanted to teach you how to do a design made entirely of dots. So September 15th was International Dot Day, and you might have seen that holiday in one of my trend credits. There were so many designs out there, so many people making lots of sales for that holiday, and lots of these designs were just made out of dots. So I wanted to show you how you can make your own designs out of dots. Some of them were just patterns, but a lot of them were objects that were made out of dots. You might have seen the T-Rex one or the shark one out there. I'm going to show you how to make one using a silhouette. You can use any silhouette you want. I'm going to be using a dog in this example, but what you want to do is find a silhouette that you like and then convert that into dots. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to go step by step so you can easily follow it, and you're going to want to stay till the end to see the final product, as well as another edition of trend credits. So I got a trend on Amazon right now, and you're gonna want to stay till the end for that as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to get a silhouette that you can use for your design. So let's go to the internet right now. So first of all, we're going to need a silhouette. So here I am on the internet. I just typed in animal silhouettes, and we're going to need a specific type of silhouette. So we want a silhouette that's a little thicker, like this one, like this bear here. We don't want one with thin lines like this bird here. So take a look at some of these. This wouldn't work right here, right? Because there's thin lines. We want something more thick. Let's see, this rhino would work pretty well. This wolf would work pretty well. This one would be tough with the thin lines. You can see this octopus has thin lines. Of course, this has thin lines too. A paw print would be pretty good. This again has thin lines, this hedgehog. So this is just to show you the different types of silhouettes that are out there. You know, make sure that yours has pretty thick lines that you can use around, because that's just going to make it easier for you to make the dots, right? So where to find these silhouettes? Well, I'm going to go to Creative Fabrica here, and I'm going to type in dog silhouette. Let's see. Got to spell it right. E, just like that. And let's see what we got. So we got some dog stuff here. Pretty cool. Oh, I'm going to do free as well. So let's see. Freebies. All right, just so I don't have to pay for it. But because we're not going to actually use the full thing, we're going to just use the silhouette of it. So I'm going to download this for free. You can see people are using it for it, but we're not going to use these lines and stuff. So we're just using the silhouette to help us draw the dotted design. Okay, so download this for free. Find one that you want for free. And we should be just fine. So I'm going to download this and put it on my computer, and I'm going to bring it into Affinity Designer, and I'll show you what to do after that. All right, so here we are in Affinity Designer. You can see I brought in the design that I got from Creative Fabrica. I'm just putting it on an artboard right here. I made my artboard right here 4500 by 5400. That is the Merch by Amazon size, and I kind of sized the dog. You can see it kind of breaks the artboard right here, because I want to make the dog the size of the art that I need for the design. So you can see I'm almost to the edge here, kind of centering it, right, the dog. So the first thing we're going to do is, I like to start with these silhouettes. I like to start with the small parts, so like the tail, the legs, and then the head next, and then fill in the body at the very end, because the body's kind of the easiest. We want to get a size for kind of the dots with the tails and stuff. So I'm going to zoom in here, so you can hit Command plus, and then just move it. Hold down your space bar and kind of move it towards the tail. Let's just start with the tail, and we're going to use the circle tool, this ellipse tool right here, and then hold down Shift so that you make a perfect circle, and then just draw a circle like this. All right, so what I like to do is there's different ways to do this. I'm going to do it in a way so that I'm going to use bigger and smaller dots. And I'm not going to go very detailed. I'm just going to go pretty loose. So you'll see what I mean. Here's the first dot like this. And because this one's a big dot, I'm going to make a smaller dot here, kind of like that. and then make this one a little smaller here just to fit. So we're using this silhouette as a guide, right? And if I zoom in here, let me just zoom in just a little bit more. You don't want them to overlap either. So you can use your arrow keys and things like that. And it doesn't have to be exactly right on the line. So on this tail right here, you can see I'm not doing it exactly. And I can hold Option and drag, Option, click, and drag to copy my circle here. So, and then kind of make it like that. So this one will go here, and maybe I want this one, again, Option, drag, Option, click, drag. This one right here. And you can see now I have some space. So I'm going to fill in the space with smaller dots like that. And that's how easy it is to do the tail. So I'm going to back out here. And you can see I can turn this on and off so you can see what happens. So this is the very back of the layers. If I turn it off, you can see I'm starting to make a shape right here. So you can use whatever color circle to begin with. We're going to color the circles after, so it doesn't really matter that much. I'm using, you know, like a light gray. You can use yellow, whatever, as long as it stands out on the black so you can see it, right? So, and we're going to color it later. So I'm not going to show you how to do every one of these. I'm going to do the legs right now offline, and then I'll come back and you'll see what it looks like with the legs, and then we'll work on the head. So now that I've done this legs part, let's look at it. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm holding down Option and scrolling with my wheel on my mouse. And you can see there's quite a bit of space right here, and that's okay. But some people might want to go in, if you want to do this, you can go in with little circles and fill in that space like that. Just make it a little tighter. But I kind of want to keep my circles bigger, so you can see just right around the edge, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's look at it, how we got it so far. I'm using bigger and smaller circles, but I'm not going super small, right? Like the smallest circle I'm using is probably this one right here. I don't want to go too much smaller than that. So that's what you can do. Oh, you can see I did fill in some right here. So I'm trying not to use smaller circles, but let's turn off this. I'm gonna zoom back so you can see the whole thing. So I put all my dots in a group right here just so you can see it easier. You don't have to do that, but I did it because my back layer was all the way behind my picture here. So look, when I turn this off, you can see we're starting to take some shape now. So let's work on the head next. I'm going to show you what to do here. I'm going to zoom in again, so Command plus, and just move it with this. So again, we're going to use the circle. We're just using circles. And I like to look for round spots. So you can see right here, there's kind of a rounded spot. This head right here is a rounded spot. So what I'm gonna do is make a circle about the size of the roundness, just so you can see right there, see how that kind of fits. So you might wanna look for those when you're designing, putting your dots in. That's just gonna give it the right shape, right? So I'm gonna hold down Option, click, and drag. And you can see I could make it just a little bit bigger here for this. See right there, it's kind of round. So I'm just filling that space in there. And then Option Shift, that's round right there. This is kind of rounded here, maybe a little bigger. You can see, trying to just fill in that right shape, right? See, like that. Let's see what else. So click on the circle, Option, drag. That's kind of round. Let's just do that. Right? And then now we can fill in these other ones, so Option, drag. And yes, this could take a long time depending on how many circles you want to use, so that's why I don't use the really tiny circles. Let's put that there and this here, and let's zoom in, see how we can fix it. So let's see, you know, you can do that, or if you want to play with this one, you can do this too. So just kind of play with it there. Let's see if we play with this one. Still got that shape, that's good. There. Right? We don't want them to touch, so just a little bit off like that. So again, they don't have to be perfect, but you can see it's starting to take some shape. So I'm gonna finish up this dog head here offline, and I'll show you what happens after that. You can see I went outside for this circle right here. Let me turn this off and you'll see kind of what we're doing. So I thought it just needed like a little bump up here. So I'm kind of freestyling it. I'm going outside of the silhouette, and you can do that too. It's fine. You'll have to just take a look, turn it on and off, and just take a look, do I need to add another dot here to make it look good? So this is, again, this silhouette is just a guide, and then you can kind of improve on it if you want to. So there's the dog head. And then now I'm gonna just fill in the body, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. I like to go around the edges first and fill those in. So I'm gonna take my circle here, just copy and put some bigger circles first, just to fill in, make sure you got that right shape. Right here you can see where it's kind of rounded right there. You fill it in, there's rounded here, right? And then you can come in with some smaller circles if you want. Just kind of give it some variety. So just go around the edges first and do that. And then just fill it in, and then you come in later and kind of adjust it. So let's say we did this right here like really quick, and I'm going to adjust it to make sure that I'm kind of on the line but not touching the circles, right? Holding down shift and just kind of sizing it like that. Again, there's no wrong or right answer. That's the fun thing about art, right? You can just make it however you want, but you can see I'm kind of following that line right there. And let's move it over here. Let's say I want to make this bigger just for variety, right? So if I make this one bigger, then this one has to be a little smaller, right? Like that. So I like to do kind of bigger and smaller, and just give your design some variety here. So do the edges first. I'm gonna back out here, and then fill in the rest, and then we'll have our dog. I'm gonna go up to that point so I can show you the whole thing filled in, and you can do it on your own time. But it's gonna take just a little bit of time, but it's nice and relaxing. Play some music and then do it. It probably will take you a good 20 minutes to do this. And you'll see the end result though is really cool. So let's get to that point. So here we are with the finished version. You can see all the dots here, some bigger dots and some smaller dots. You want to give this thing some variety, right? So put in the big dots first like I showed you, and then come in and fill it in with the little dots. And let's take a look at this. Turn this off, and you can see you might want to change the color of this now. Let's make them black just so you can see it. And just take a look at it. If there's something, if it doesn't look like the shape that you started with, if this didn't look like a dog, then maybe you might want to add some smaller circles for more detail, or choose a different silhouette. I know it's kind of tough to choose a different silhouette once you got up to this point. So you might want to, maybe put some little circles here to add some detail so you can get it closer. But I'm happy with this. I think it looks like a dog. So the next thing we're gonna do is color it. I'm gonna put this on a black background, so it should look nice on a black background. I'm gonna just use these colors right here just so it's simple. So let me put some circles up here. I'm gonna use 5, there's 5 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And let's start with these, and we're just gonna sample them. So I'm putting 5 circles right here, and let's start with this one. The easy way to sample it is take off the stroke, do the fill, use this eyedropper tool and eyedrop this color, and then click it, and then you got that. So let's do the same for all of these. I'm gonna take out the stroke here, use the eyedropper tool. Let's see, let's just do this one for the eyedropper tool. Boom. And the third one here. Boom. And fourth one, let's use this. And the 5th one here, use that one. Now I could stop right there, so let's turn this off. This is kind of dark, so I'm gonna just play with the colors just a little bit. And you can, make it whatever color you want. So there, that's a little lighter. That's a little lighter. Stuff like that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just pick one color. So I like to pick this one, this first one, and just start picking circles and color it. So double click on here, and then hold down shift and kind of space yourself out. So you don't want to touch the same colors. So I'm gonna pick that one, and then, maybe that one, and that one, and that one, that one. Okay, let's see how that looks for now. Let's pick that color. Boom. So you can see I'm kind of spacing them out, and you can do the same thing. Go here again, you know, that's kind of spaced out. And do a variety of the big ones and the small ones. You don't want to pick all the big ones and make it the same color. So, you know, just do that. So just like that. So we're going to do that with each color, and I'm not going to show you how to do that, but just space them out, and I'm going to show you what it looks like after you fill in all the colors. Changed my colors a little bit. I wanted to go a little more brighter, so you can do that. Just, you know, whatever color you want. I got these kind of in the same realm with the vintage sunset, but just a little lighter. So you can see I made these colors and they don't touch, right? So one of the things I'm trying to do is if there's a blue here, I'm trying not to make a blue that touches. So you can see same thing with all the other colors. So you're gonna have to, you know, play around with it. Sometimes they might touch, and that's okay. These two are kind of close. These two are kind of close, but that's okay. Just try your best on not having them touch, and they'll look like this. And it just gives it a nice pattern. So now that we have it done, let's put a black background behind the whole thing. I'm gonna do this right here, just the rectangle, and draw color, make sure that it's black, and just put it all the way in the back right here. And that's what you want to see. You want to see what it looks like on a black background, because we're going to put it on a black t-shirt. And I really like how the colors stand out. So that's it. Next thing you're going to do is make sure that the black background is turned off and you don't have these dots here. So let's remove these dots. And then you're just going to export this. Click on your artboard, hit export, or come down here to export. And then you can see 4500 by 5400 PNG. Don't do artboard, do selection only. And when you export, it's going to export it correctly. And then save that, and you can use that on your t-shirt on Merch by Amazon, and it will also work for Redbubble or whatever print on demand site you're doing. So that is it for this tutorial. Hopefully it was really helpful for you. Make your own different silhouettes. You can do this with a dog, a cat, a rhino, elephant, whatever you want, right? It doesn't even have to be an animal. It can be just a shape. Do it in a on a heart. If a heart would be a lot easier. I kind of went with the harder one right here, but if you do like some solid shapes, try it out with a circle first, or a paw print, or something a little more simple like that, and then work your way up to this if this one's kind of hard for you. So again, like I said, you can do bigger and smaller circles. If you want to come in here and add more detail, you could put smaller circles here too. So have fun with this one. I think this will turn out really well, and even if you don't use it for International Dot Day, I think this could make a really good Christmas present, and put it on different products as well. This could make a great sticker for Redbubble, or, you know, bag, handbag, or something like that. So hopefully this was really helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if you really like this, and your reward for staying all the way to the end is another edition of Trend Credits. Thanks for staying to the end for this trend credit. Here is your trend. This is the government the founders warned us about. So take a look at this. So this is a very hot topic right now in the US about the government and what they want to do and things like that. I'm not going to get too political, but you can see this is trending right now. So look at these low BSRs. Wow. Take a look at that. You can see lots of different ways to do this. American flag, Capitol building, things like that. So figure out a way that you can make yours different and stand out and make it something that people actually want to wear. Here it is on Merch Informer. You can see it's getting an A. So if you don't have Merch Informer, I have a link in the description to Merch Informer. But this one has good competition. So that means low competition. So you can compete in here, and you can see some examples of things like that. So if you don't have Merch Informer, it's a great one to use. You got graphics and things like that. So let's take a look at the trend again. So you can see lots of low BSRs. I added them all up, the top 10 of them, and got the average. And this one is getting a B+. So not an A, but pretty high up there. Still, the average score is still pretty low. Some of them getting some super low BSRs right here. So have fun with this one. I think this is still a hot topic currently. So hopefully this trend is really helpful for you. Again, here's your trend for this video. This is the government the founders warned us about. So that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this video is really helpful for you. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. So before I leave, I wanted to share with you a question of the day, and the question of the day is this: what time of day do you work on print on demand? So because I have a 9 to 5 job, I usually work on print on demand early in the morning. My best times is in the morning because nobody's up and I can do a lot of stuff and get a lot of stuff done. So that 5:30 till 7 o'clock is really good time for me. So let me know in the comments what best time is for you that you work on print on demand stuff. Thanks again for watching, and if you want to see more videos on how to create designs for t-shirts, click on these videos right here. And as always guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.